Hey everyone, welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends free-to-play series. This video is not going to be like the others. This is kind of a special edition. It's a few things that have come to my attention or thoughts that I was having. Hadn't planned on making a video at this point based on this account. We made a video yesterday just talking about the progression. We pulled a few more shards, and I want to talk about something that is integral to the game, and that is luck. And obviously, we all know that going into the game. It's a gambling game. It's a gacha game. It is very dependent on luck, and that's how Plarium makes their money. It's what keeps you coming back is, can I get that next champion? Can I get another better champion? And it's what attracts us to the game. But also, I want to talk about it in terms of how much impact does that actually have in the very early game? And is there a case to be made for, if you're going to be free to play, should you play for a certain amount of time and then simply restart if it isn't going well? If you're going to put years into something like this, how long should you put into an account before you scrap it and just start again? Now, I want to talk about this in relation to two accounts I have, both of which I've started recently. There's the one that you maybe know about from my YouTube series, where I have been having no luck at all, really. I've pulled 20 shards now. 15 of those were ancient shards here. We're talking about 20 ancient shards. 15 of those were during a 2x event. We've got a total of 2 epics. One is a F tier, like really not great for much in the game, and the other is a reasonable average tier, but much better when you're later on in the game, when you need that wave control. She's not a progression champion in Luria. So this is the account as it stands, and these are the champions that I've got. Obviously, there was my starter champion. I pulled a decent rare void with one of my 2 void shards, and then there is everything else. And obviously, here are my 2 epics, neither of which really help me out at this stage. Like Luria, she's not bad. She has 1 very good skill, but that's about it. Everything else and anything below here is food, and obviously, sorry, I'm lying. We've got 3 epics. We just forgetting Karam because he's forgettable. So we've got 2 really low tier epics who are at best highly situational and at worst useless. We have the one that they give you, and then beyond that, everything that I've pulled on this account has been average, or for any other account, this would just be food. Like, the starter champions on most accounts are just food, apart from Kale. We've got Pyria, food. We've got a Metal Shaper, useful in 1 place in the game, maybe 2 if you count Faction Wars if you're really struggling. We pulled a Ripper Fist, void food. Halberdier hits pretty hard, but he's really just food as well as the if you're not using him for the fusion. So this account just had no luck, and I've ended up building up a Saurus. Like, he's capable, but it's making do with something really bad. So I want to now just flip over to another account I have, and I just want to show you that and show you the difference. And bear in mind, on this account, we're still on Dragon 7. We haven't made it to 11 yet. We still haven't finished hard campaign. And we are, at this point, we're about to start day 12. So we've had about 10.5 days of actual playtime, coming up on 11 days of playtime on this account. So let's just bear that in mind when I flip over to the other one. So I will be right back with that account. Okay, so here we are on another alt account that I made. And I made this before I started my YouTube account. So if we just check the days, so we're on day 17 here. So we are literally 1 week further on in this account. However, I have barely played this account. I log in and I do the dailies. And that's it. The only reason this account exists is I'm going to level to 50 and get my main account a sacred shard. Probably shouldn't be saying that on YouTube, but we all know we do it. So that's why I made this account. It wasn't to progress. It wasn't for anything else. Now, because of that, I haven't even unlocked the mine. Like, I haven't unlocked the mine. I think I unlocked the whole market just to grab shards. And then what I've done with, you'll see I've got no coin, I've got no crystals, and what I've done with them, because I didn't care about the account, I came in here and I bought one of the worst things that money says that all the wisdom says you can buy, and I purchased. I think I've now probably purchased three or probably four of these shard packs. So I've had an extra 12 crystals. So on this account, I've probably pulled 30, between 30 and 35 shards total. In fact, probably less than that because I haven't been farming. I haven't got them off the dragons. I haven't got them off clan boss, things like that. So I've probably pulled 30 shards. So we're looking at just 10 shards more than the old shard. And I wasn't saving for the 2 times. I think I pulled maybe 3 of the shards during the 2 times event. But look at this. I have a Vrask, I have a Husk, I have a Shatterbones, I have a Sanguinia, I have an Ugo. I obviously from the login rewards, this guy is probably my worst pull. But in the void, just in the regular pulls, I've pulled Greybeard. I've pulled a Mystic Hand who can be useful. I've pulled a War Maiden who can be useful. Him I got out of the campaign, but just in terms of the pulls, like even just looking here, so Aethel was my campaign farmer. She was the starter champion I took on this account, and as you can see, like my team now is Aethel, Vrask, Husk, Shatterbones, and it will be once I get her geared and leveled up, Ugo. Like the difference is absolutely astounding. And then in here we have a Soulbound Bowyer, we have a Grave Chill Killer. Not a huge amount else, but the number of the fusion champs that we've grabbed as well has been great. So the accounts just don't measure up, and because of these pulls, even though yes I'm a week ahead, the progression difference has been massive. If we look at the campaign, I finished hard on the campaign in about 9 days. I'm working my way through brutal when I can be bothered. Like as I say, I literally come in and do my dailies, so I've stopped doing most of this, but I could probably get my 4-man team through most of this content now if I wanted to. Similarly, in the dungeons, in dragons, as opposed to my other team that is stuck here, we've already cleared the hard one. And again, I've not been farming this. I have no need to do my dailies. I come in here and I do 3 runs of it. All it is grinding experience on this account. As you see, I've got 1900 energy, 3 million silver. I'm just not working the account, but the difference in the ease of progression because of those early pulls is so dramatic. That's not a terrible deal. Not that I'm going to get it. And I'm still sitting on all these mystery shards. I haven't, like, unlike my other account, I haven't needed to pull these for anything. And it's insane. If I wanted to take an account now and actually push for progression, this would be the account that I should do. I should possibly buy some crystals now to make up for the fact that I've spent them unwisely. Or say unwisely, look at the champions I've ended up with. So it brings up another question. It's like, should you actually be spending those crystals on the gem mine at the start? Yes, I know, I understand long term it makes a huge difference. But if we look at this in terms of how long should you play before you restart, is it worth actually spending, let's say, 7 to 10 days pushing for all the gems you can, all these shards you can get, and all the gems you can get, coming in here, buying one big pack with your first 900 crystals that you can get after, or 900 gems that you get after maybe that first week or so, you'll easily get this. Throwing 30 ancients at the wall and seeing what sticks. If you're like this account, you are absolutely in the money. Like, this would be an easy account to level. Like, this guy, great for dungeons, murders dungeons, wave control, Perfect. One of the best sustained heal champions in the game. My starter nuker and campaign farmer, and then someone who is being touted as possibly one of the best epics in the game as she's new. Wave control, sustain, revive, and a defense break. Like, this is like a great epic team at this point, and I could easily progress this account as opposed to my other account, my YouTube account, which is the one that I was trying to progress and use and and get through those dungeon stages and those dragon stages and things, which I'm now really struggling with. Even though I want to put in the time, it's painful to do. Like, there's little to the account that excites me because of the champion pulls. I've got to choose between a Frostbringer and a Gaelic as the fifth member of my of my very average team for who's going to bring the defense break, because despite having spent now days trying to get hold of a war maiden, I haven't even managed that. So I guess this is much as a question as opposed to advice, but if you're totally free to play, you don't do what I did on my other account, and you've done what I've done on this account, which is 0 cash. If after 10 days of play you have no good progression epics, you've had unfortunate rare pulls where everything is food, is it actually worth just going, you know what, I'm going to make a new email address and a new account and start from scratch? Because to give up the first 10 days now for an easier progression for the next year, to me, that has to be worth it. And it's something that I think if my YouTube account was just my second account and it was one that I was actually doing as an account for myself, I would strongly be considering just dumping that account right now. It has had such bad luck in terms of pulls. A friend of mine started it exactly on the same day as it. He's new to Raid. He didn't exactly whale out. He dropped somewhere between about $60 to $100 on the game, I think, when he came into it. He comes from another gacha game. He's quite happy to spend a bit of money, especially when he starts off. And he literally laid his account out with he will not need to pull shards again, apart from in 2 times ever again. He got the new defense down attack down orc epic. He pulled Tyrell. He pulled what's her name, Infernal Baroness to be his campaign farmer. He literally reliquary tender out of his rares. He ended up with even a Jareg. Like, literally, he's ended up with a clan boss team, a dungeons team, a top tier 10-second campaign farmer, and he genuinely won't need to do any more pulling outside of 2 times. He can just take that account, pile into getting his first 6-star, building up his teams that he already has, and just work his way through the game. And now obviously that's very different to free to play. You're not going to get that volume of shard pull, and God, his luck was insane. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't have half those champions on my main account, and I would absolutely kill for them at 150 days, let alone on days 1 through 3, like he got them. But it really does beg the question, like, should I actually just bite the bullet and, as a YouTube experiment, just say, you know what, this account has failed, and the amount of shards that I've pulled at this point, should I just start again? I'm, let's say, 11 days in, and I'm going to have to work incredibly hard on that account, grinding out food with champions that aren't ideal, grinding dungeons with a team that isn't ideal. And there's a solid argument, I think, for me to say, you know what, as an experiment, this has kind of failed. The only problem with my YouTube account is I did spend that money to get those crystals at the beginning, to get those gems. And so I'm kind of tied into the experiment and the account. But again, it's only $10. Like, is it at still worth me saying, you know what, I'm just going to drop the $10 I'll start again. I think if it was completely free to play, I'd probably be making that decision and saying, you know what, here was an experiment. You worked through 5 episodes and the account just sucks. I'm going to go away and think about it. I'm going to keep working on the account. I'm going to come back and do an update. In fact, let's jump back across to that account now and do a quick shard pull. See if my complaining to the universe can't get me a little bit of luck. Let me get that account back up. I will be right back. All right, so here we are. We're back on my YouTube free-to-play account. We did grab one more ancient shard today, so we're going to go ahead and pull that right now on this video, just to end the video and see if we can't get just a little bit of luck. Even an apothecary or a frozen banshee, just an actual usable rare would be great. Let's see what we can get. It is rare, and it's an adjudicator. Pretty sure she's useless. 20% chance of placing a heal reduction, 50% chance of a turn meter reduction, and on a 4 to 3 turn cooldown, and a chance of increasing that. So, not enough chance to be useful of these things. Only single target, maybe vaguely useful in bosses, but let's face it, it's more food. So, no more luck there. All right. That's it for this one, guys. Let me know if you think I'm talking madness or if you think there's something to this account. Like I say, it's it's a challenge to come back and work on this every day at the moment, but I will keep slugging away and I will see you in a couple of days. Thanks for watching.